Scarlet Witch versus Doomsday, who would win? There are battles where strength decides everything, where the hardest punch and the toughest body determine the outcome. And then there are battles that go beyond strength, beyond durability, beyond even logic itself. This is one of those battles. On one side stands a creature engineered through endless death, a monster that has evolved past extinction itself, a being that cannot be killed the same way twice. On the other side stands a woman who doesn't just fight within reality but reshapes it, bends it, and if necessary, erases it entirely. One is the ultimate product of physical evolution. The other is the embodiment of chaos and probability. When these two forces collide, the question is not just who is stronger, but what kind of power truly defines victory. Doomsday is not a warrior in the traditional sense. He is a result, a consequence of one of the most brutal experiments ever conducted on Krypton. Created by Bertrand, an infant was thrown into a prehistoric world so hostile that survival was impossible. Each time the child died, it was cloned and sent back again, its DNA absorbing the cause of death and evolving beyond it. Over thousands of cycles, what emerged was something that no longer followed the rules of life. Doomsday became immune to harm through repetition. If something killed him once, it would never kill him again. His body adapted in real time, growing stronger, faster, and more resistant with every encounter. His bones protruded outward as natural armor. His healing factor rivaled immortality, and his strength reached levels capable of rivaling the greatest beings in the DC universe. He fought Superman in a battle so devastating that it ended with the Man of Steel dead on the streets of Metropolis. That alone defines Doomsday's threat level. He is not just powerful. He is a force that becomes more dangerous the longer he exists in a fight. Scarlet Witch operates on an entirely different level. Wanda Maximoff is not defined by physical strength, but by control over the fundamental structure of reality. Her chaos magic allows her to manipulate probability, meaning that events do not simply occur based on chance, but based on her will. At lower levels, this manifests as hex energy, blasts capable of tearing apart matter and disrupting energy. But at her peak, her abilities extend far beyond simple attacks. She can rewrite the laws of physics, alter timelines, and reshape existence itself. The most defining example of her power comes from a single moment, a single phrase that echoes across comic history. No more mutants. With those 3 words, she erased the powers of millions, rewriting reality on a global scale. That is not combat strength. That is control over existence itself. Scarlet Witch does not need to overpower her enemies. She changes the rules they exist under. Now place these two into the same battlefield, a fractured dimension where reality itself is unstable, constantly shifting between what is real and what could be. Wanda appears first, surrounded by a field of chaotic energy, her presence already distorting probability. The air bends around her, space itself reacting to her power. Then Doomsday arrives, crashing into existence like a living meteor, shattering the ground beneath him as he rises from the impact. There is no hesitation, no strategy, only instinct. He sees a target and he moves. Wanda strikes first, unleashing a wave of hex energy designed to destabilize his molecular structure. The attack hits with devastating force, tearing into Doomsday's body, cracking bone and ripping through flesh. For a brief moment, it appears effective. But Doomsday does what he always does. He adapts. His body begins regenerating instantly, the damage already becoming less effective as his biology adjusts to the frequency of her magic. He charges forward, closing the distance with terrifying speed. His first blow collides with Wanda's defensive barrier, sending shockwaves through the surrounding space. The shield holds, but the impact is enough to force her back. Wanda immediately changes tactics. She understands that this is not an opponent she can defeat through repeated attacks. Instead, she begins manipulating the battlefield itself. Gravity shifts, space folds, and Doomsday is pulled into collapsing layers of reality, crushed by forces that would destroy almost anything else. But Doomsday survives. He always survives. He emerges from the distortion with new adaptations, his body reinforcing itself against the very nature of the attack. Every second he exists, he becomes harder to kill. He reaches her again. This time, his strike connects. Wanda is sent crashing through fractured space, her body barely holding together under the force. This is the moment where the fight shifts, because as Wanda rises, she stops trying to destroy Doomsday physically. She realizes that his strength lies in his ability to adapt to damage. So instead of attacking his body, she attacks something deeper, his existence. Wanda reaches into the probability field surrounding Doomsday, targeting the very concept of his creation. She begins to rewrite the question of whether he should exist at all. Reality itself resists because Doomsday is not easy to erase. His entire existence is built on overcoming death. But even that has limits. His form begins to flicker, his presence destabilizing as the foundation of his origin is challenged. His regeneration slows, not completely stopping, but enough to create an opening. And that is all Wanda needs. She compresses reality around him, forming a localized pocket where the laws of existence are rewritten. Inside this space, Doomsday is still alive, still evolving, still fighting. But he is cut off, isolated from the larger reality. A prison not made of walls, but of altered rules. Doomsday attacks it, adapts to it, begins to break through. Given enough time, he might even escape. But time is the one advantage Wanda controls completely. So who is stronger? In terms of raw physical power, Doomsday dominates. His strength, durability, and evolution far exceed anything Wanda can match physically. Who is more powerful at their peak? Scarlet Witch, without question. Her ability to manipulate reality operates on a level that physical evolution cannot easily counter. And in a direct fight, who would win? Doomsday wins if the battle stays physical. But Scarlet Witch does not fight on physical terms. She changes the rules of the fight itself. By targeting his existence rather than his body, by containing rather than destroying, she bypasses what makes him unstoppable. The final result is clear. Scarlet Witch wins, not by overpowering Doomsday, but by rewriting the conditions that allow him to win. Because in the end, this battle was never about who could hit harder or survive longer. It was about who controls the very foundation of the fight itself. Doomsday is the ultimate survivor, a creature that will always come back stronger, always adapt, always evolve. But evolution requires time, and more importantly, it requires rules to evolve within. Scarlet Witch does not follow those rules. She breaks them, she rewrites them, and when necessary, she erases them completely. Doomsday can adapt to damage, to energy, to destruction in all its forms. But adapting to reality itself being altered at its core is a challenge even he cannot instantly overcome. And in that gap, in that brief moment where his evolution cannot keep up with her control, the outcome is decided. This is not a victory of strength. This is a victory of power. And at the highest level of power, Wanda Maximoff stands above.